Trillions of dollars are about to enter the crypto market. 5 crypto coins are rising above the rest. There will be other cryptos too. Lower cap coins will have the biggest gains. Hey, you comment your favorite coin below. Seriously, type the name of one altcoin and hit post. I'm reading the comments. It will be interesting to see which coins have the biggest community. Because understand, we told you that this was very likely to happen. We warned you. Last chance. Last chance. Are you good here? Are you good here? I'm warning you again right now. You should expect Bitcoin to keep going higher like this. There will be moments of consolidation that could last days, weeks, months, but after Bitcoin spends time at one level, it makes another leg up and it hits this next level, and this is very common in bull markets. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, like him or hate him, he understands what's about to happen next in crypto from a fundamental adoption point of view. And he's actually more excited about Ethereum and Solana and the activity taking place in the L1 crypto ecosystems. But he says that all of this is obviously going to send Bitcoin's price a lot higher. He says, prepare for the market structure bill to get passed in the next few months. When that happens, trillions will enter into the crypto market from the sidelines. Listen.
I love the idea of innovation. The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems. That's the potential. That's the amazing opportunity we have here. Now, the reason that will be important and why we'll get price appreciation on Bitcoin is the minute that happens, it will signal the move to the next act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And why that matters to everybody in this room is we will finally determine, is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? And when that is determined and regulated, Katie bar the doors, $1 trillion will come and index that asset. Let's all hope that happens while we're all alive here.
So, 5 altcoins will shine above the rest. Look at the 5 altcoins that are rising to the top. Seriously, trillions are about to enter this space, make no mistake about it. Bloomberg's expert analyst James Seyffart, who studies what's happening with crypto on Wall Street, and by the way, we're literally seeing all of this play out before our eyes. Yesterday was the second biggest net flow day for Bitcoin ETFs in history. Bloomberg analyst says trillions will flow into the Bitcoin and crypto ETFs as JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, and big wirehouses come online and start soliciting sales. People reaching out to you saying, hey, you should buy Bitcoin, you should buy Ethereum, you should get into crypto. This will be the biggest unlock of capital in Bitcoin history.
I think that's the biggest unlocking potential for the Bitcoin ETFs. And a lot of them at these big platforms, these wirehouses, the JP Morgans, the Merrill Lynches, they control trillions of dollars of wealth. They're only just now coming online. And in most cases, there's a lot of restrictions. Like you think, oh, you get an ETF, all of a sudden everyone can invest in it.
Nope.
That is not how these platforms work.
You're starting to hear, though, that people are starting to be able to venture into it. And do you think we'll continue to see that, or what do you think?
Yeah, the biggest bull case for the ETFs has been the unlocking of RAs in 2025. And that's something I was talking about 6-7 months ago. Think about it, 3 tiers, almost like red, yellow, green. Red light is, I don't care what you're doing. On our platform, you cannot touch a Bitcoin ETF. Then a lot of ETFs are in this middle ground where it's like, if the client specifically asks to buy a Bitcoin ETF, you can do it for them. Or if you clients like certain levels of wealth and risk ability to take risks and desire to take risk, they have a certain amount of assets with us, then you can buy the Bitcoin ETFs for them. And this is called solicited versus unsolicited. So if you come to me, I'm your RA, you ask for it, then I can do it. But I can't be like, I think you should put 2% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. The final level is when it's solicited, and I can basically solicit to you and say, I think you should put this in your portfolio. Right now, the vast majority of the assets are in that middle ground. There's still trillions of dollars of assets in those wirehouses, in those wealth platforms you were talking about, that are either at the red or yellow level. And we're seeing an unlocking of more people going up that ladder towards allowing things to be approved for buying of the end investors. And I think that's the biggest unlocking potential for the Bitcoin ETFs. And we've seen a lot of flows coming in these ETFs And I think when we get the 13F report from June 30th, which we'll get in August, we'll see a lot more RAAs that have come online and buying this for their clients.
So altcoin season is quickly approaching. We're already in the first or second inning. I think you can kind of tell we're already in the first or second inning of alt season. Because be aware, I don't know if you saw this or not, the mainstream media and the powers that be are slowly changing the narrative from Bitcoin to crypto, and specifically a select few altcoins. Just take a look at this from the other day. Take a look at how CNBC makes the Bitcoin news all about Ethereum. I'll tell you, from somebody who's been in crypto multiple cycles, this is something I've been waiting for. This kind of coverage is really exciting to me.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin ETFs seeing their biggest day of inflows this year at more than $1 billion yesterday, the second biggest day on record for inflows into ETH ETFs. It'd probably take a macro event to slow this down. We're heading further into summer when macro catalysts are typically fewer, but I'd watch the Fed meeting at the end of the month. What's really interesting is the way that ETH has kind of sprung to life here. Still down on the year, but as Bitcoin dragged for 2 months, interest in tokenization, which includes stablecoins, has helped revive ETH, as that is the network that facilitates so much of that activity. So ETH greatly outperforming Bitcoin now, ahead of its 10-year anniversary, and just as a lot of investors kind of we're starting to give up on it.
So understand that Bitcoin will keep going up over time. Of course, there will be periods of consolidation, but listen to Michael Saylor's thesis here. Again, we're seeing this play out exactly as he described. Understand that so many people are thinking about Bitcoin and crypto like this now. Pay attention to what he says at the end.
The difference between money and speculation is if it's money, then the largest holders are buying more. And if it's speculation, the largest holders are selling. So the real issue is, are the hodlers buying or are they selling? I'll give you an example of great asset classes that are money. New York City real estate or London real estate or Palm Beach real estate, luxury real estate is money. Because if you look at wealthy people, they're not selling. There's no one bragging about how they sold all their nice places in Palm Beach, New York, and London. They're buying more, right? If you've ever met a rich family that has real estate holdings, they don't sit around saying, yeah, we're going to diversify and we're going to sell next year. We're going to get rid of the entire portfolio at a huge profit over 10 years. What they say is, I'm looking forward to the next deal where we're going to acquire this building, or we're going to buy this other thing, right? They buy and they hold. And they typically buy and hold to give to their children's children, right? The same is true with art. If it's good art, collectors, Frick, Andrew Mellon, they didn't buy art to flip the art, right? They're not speculators. I bought a Picasso so I could sell the Picasso, right? They wanted to buy them all. That's why they call them collectors. So if something is deemed to be really valuable, you bought $1 billion of it, and your goal is to buy another $1 billion of it. And so if you think about all these things, which thing in the crypto ecosystem is that, right? Bitcoin is that, right? I bought a bunch of Bitcoin. My goal is to buy more Bitcoin.
If I were you, I would look at the crypto coins that are going to get the same level of adoption or similar level adoption to what we're seeing happen with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's a winner, crypto coin, of course, but also Ethereum. Also, believe it or not, XRP, Litecoin, of course, Solana. Like, these coins are very certain, very likely. I'm not sure if I'm as bullish on Litecoin this cycle as Solana and XRP, but then other crypto coins, which, you could add any of these onto the list. And again, this is going to piss some people off. Dogecoin, Cardano, Polkadot, HBAR, and Avalanche. Big range here. Do you really not think that, I think people are going to buy into an ETF that has Dogecoin in it and just want to hold one of the top memes in the crypto market, just as kind of like a brand culture thing. And obviously, these projects are more than meme coins, so yeah, add these to the list. Look, understand that this cycle is very different from previous cycles. In 2021 and 2017, everything was mostly speculative. Things just pumped because of speculation. Today, there are fundamental reasons to be bullish on Bitcoin and to be bullish on a select few altcoins. Matt Hogan here sets the record straight. This is a 100% fundamentals-driven rally, and he expects Bitcoin's price to be a lot higher at the end of the year, Ethereum's price, Solana's price to be a lot higher at the end of the year. Just listen to how well he articulates his thesis in this clip. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Make sure you subscribe for daily videos just like this. Listen to Matt Hogan sum it up.
Everyone's asking me, I don't know what the answer is. Why is Bitcoin shooting higher right now?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think it's a really simple answer. There's unrelenting demand from corporations and institutional investors, and that's colliding with severely limited supply. You know, the Bitcoin network only produces 450 Bitcoin per day. Yesterday alone, Bitcoin ETFs bought 10,000 Bitcoin. This institutional investment into Bitcoin is a one-time event. It's going to take years to play out. But I think over the course of those years, there's going to be this persistent bid where there's more demand than there is supply. And the natural response to that is what we're seeing in the market, which is Bitcoin's price goes higher. I think it has a long way to go. I think it could end the year closer to 200,000. So I would get used to this story of new all-time highs.
Yeah, I think we're going to be there in a couple months at this rate, maybe a couple of weeks. Emily, what would you add to that?
I agree with everything that Matt said. And also, I would add that obviously some of this has to do with the vibe shift in the United States. As you know, crypto runs on vibes. There has been a major vibe shift from the U.S. Presidential administration.
Look, at the end of the day, Bitcoin provides a service, which is the ability to store wealth in a digital format without relying on a bank. The vibes are definitely part of it. Vibes influence stocks, they influence bonds, but the underlying driver for the rise is more people want this service that Bitcoin provides. In this uncertain world where there are tariffs and geopolitical tensions, people want to be able to own their wealth in a digital format. We're seeing a massive number of people join that crowd, and that's going to force prices higher. I do agree, it's sort of everything everywhere all at once. We have positive regulatory news, positive legislative news, institutional adoption, concern about debt and deficits. Add those together and the price